That's alright. Yo, Julie. Yo, YouTubers. Yo, YouTubers. It's medication time. I love the hat. I haven't worn it in the street yet. I'm going to wear it in the street next, Jules, right? And I'm going to go into the supermarket wearing it, right? And when they come up to me and say, you know, hey, what are you doing, like, you know what I mean? And I go, well, what's wrong? Is it the hat? And they go, no, you're not wearing a mask. Get stopped. Get stopped for not wearing a mask, man, you know. Right, we've got 2 viewers. If I went round town wearing this, right, do you think people would notice me? Like, they probably wouldn't. Anybody recognise the beady eye, by the way? Here, you see this beady eye here? Anybody recognise this woman? I'll clear the picture so you can... Oh no, I don't want to give the game away because my speech is... I've got a couple of photos. Alright, I want to start off with something comical here, right? A bit of comedy, right? Remember when Dad wore a dog collar for a laugh? Yeah. Man, the things my dad used to do for a laugh, it's off its head, isn't it, right? The craziest thing I think I ever saw my dad do was climb on the roof to fix the aerial, I think. Thought that was a young Kennedy, lol. No. This eye here, it's, oh man. Have you ever heard of a woman called Ilse Koch? Koch, you know, the German spelling, Koch. Ilse Koch, have you ever heard of her? She was the most wicked woman. The wickedest woman in the world, apparently, right? Oh, check her out. Ilse, you know how you spell it? I-L-S-S something, but it's Koch, K-O-C-H. And that's who the picture is. I'll actually get the picture up so you can see it properly, right? I'll get the picture up. And oh my, she was the most evil, she was one of the most evil women in history, right? Here we go. I'll get the picture up, right? I've just got to shrink my image. Right. Shrink my image. And right, here we go. This is the face, right? Proper geezer, bird bitch. Oh, she was in the death camps, basically, right? There she is, right? I'll put it on full. Anyone, you haven't never seen any? Watch a documentary about. I mean, would you buy a second-hand car off this lady? Would you buy a second-hand car? Look at the beady eyes. I mean, you wouldn't think butter would melt in her mouth, would you? You know what I mean? But she's one of the most evil women. I can't understand why no one's heard of her. You know what I mean? But oddly enough, her name is Koch. You know, K-O-C-H. Ilse. Is a pit? Yeah, it's there in the corner. It's I-L-S-E. I-L-S-E-K-O-C-H. Her nickname was the bitch of Bugenhausen. She was in one of the camps and she used to treat the prisoners evil. You know, she used to cavort around and tease them and stuff like that. And if they looked at her, she'd have them punished and stuff, and unspeakable things I don't want to talk about on my channel. But if you've never seen her, you have to. You've got to be. Everyone's got to be aware of this woman, so that like, if you ever see her face or you ever see anybody who looks, the reason I know people who look like this, you see, I've met people. I've met people who look like her, right? Males, like, you know, as if they're like siblings or something, or they're related or something. And I just look at this picture to remind me of not to, you know. Oh man, she was evil, mate. Apparently she hung herself, but you know, she got caught in that. You know, when all the Nazis got caught in that, like, she killed herself in jail. You know what I mean? Ah, you know what I mean? I thought we were gonna have I thought we should have a collection for her. You know what I mean? Say that like Woody Allen. Say what? What do you mean? What do you mean you're hungry? I just carried a banana the size of a canoe. Right. Her name is Ilse Koch. And honestly, she's vile. She is very, very bad, like. And I don't know why we've never heard of her. There's no movies about her, you know what I mean? She was horrible. Probably worse than Hitler himself. Although I doubt it, like. Okay, enough of that beady-eyed, horrible head. If anyone's watching this and you know what I mean. Honestly, I've met people that are a spitting image of her, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, ooh, when I seen her, I was like, oh my word, what am I in the middle of? She would scare toothpaste back in the tube. She's so ugly. She would scare toothpaste back in the tube. I've got to put the glasses on if I'm going to do that, like. Right. But I'm just doing like a sort of quick refresh. You know, the speech I did the other night was like nearly 3 hours long I was on, right? And man, it was like, I couldn't believe I was on that long, right? Hold on, let's just get a better looking, you know, better looking face on the screen than that, like. Right, there you go. That's what we want. That's what we want, isn't it, everyone? That's what the viewers want. Okay. Now I'm going to show a clip, and I don't know if you've ever seen this clip, Drew, right? And I might be messing up me copyright or whatever, like. And it's just a funny clip, right? I don't know if you've ever seen it, like. Right, look here, beady-eyed there, like. I've got it on me, you know, the background on me, you know, when you wake up in the morning and I first turn my computer on, this comes up to remind me of, like, not to, you know, fall for crazy stuff anymore, right? But anyway, I want to show a little clip which I think is quite funny. I wanted to talk about the speech I did the other night. I was on for like nearly 3 hours, and I said quite a lot on loads of mad things, and I was making links to pyramids and things like that. And I kind of wanted to wrap up. I was talking about the comparison between the Indians valuing the stone turquoise compared to like our imperialist society, or kings and queens, and they're into diamonds and stuff like that, right? And basically, have you ever seen a natural diamond? Have you ever seen one of these, Joe? Did you know this is what a diamond actually looks like? These are the highest grade diamonds, right? When you buy high grade diamonds, I've got like cheapy ones that are low grade, you know what I mean? When you buy a high grade diamond, I mean, is this amazing? Have you ever seen this? Like, this is what why did that do that? All right, here we go. There's a natural diamond there, guys. I mean, what does that tell you about the earth? And that's natural. That's how they grow in the ground. And the problem is, look at it, it's got all the geometric shapes that's kind of like, you know, it's two pyramids joined together, isn't it? That's a natural diamond, that. And what did the jewelers do? They cut them into shapes, don't they? They make sure that, like, how many people on earth have held one of them? how many people can you say have actually held a diamond that still looks like that? You know, and that's natural. Right, so you know people say there's no straight lines in nature and stuff like silly. I think people are always trying to say everything's bent, everything's bent. You know what I mean? Everything's bent. It's probably the gay rights movement or something like everything's bent in nature. It's like that's not true. You know what I mean? There are straight lines in nature. You know what I mean? And yeah, I've got proof here as well. One of the, you know, that stone. This is a natural stone, right? I'm going to hold up to the camera. I'll have to make the picture bigger. Like, let's just go back to where it was. Right, so get the camera up, right? And I've showed a piece of fool's gold on camera, which was dead straight, right? But this is a piece of. It's called. Oh, what's this stuff called now? Oh, this is mica. What's a mica? What's it called? What's it called? Gotta get to sleep. We'll catch up on the weekend. Have a good live stream. Okay, I'm not going on long, you see. I'm going to be doing like a sort of brief catch up. Okay. Sweet dreams. Right, this stone here is a piece of. Oh, what's it called? Oh. Man, why is it on my brain? Why is it on my brain? To anyone else who's watching, by the way, there's 2 viewers. Oh, why has that escaped my mind? Whoa. I just can't for the life of me. Anyway, this is a natural stone anyway. That's natural. And as you can see, if I can get it still, it's got straight edges. It's like clear glass. They use it for optics and apparently, oh man, what's the name of this stuff, man? I can't even remember, man. Right, but that's got straight edges, right? So there are straight edges in natural, in the natural world, shall we say? And when we look at this, I'm just kind of concluding on, well, what I was talking about here. I showed this and wanted people to see that there's actually a pyramid in this picture. As you can see, it just looks like a ship. Right? It just looks like a ship on a halfpenny. You wouldn't think twice. But me being very observant and strange, I see this. And I see the pyramid there. With the floors underneath. And you look properly, you can see a canopy. And it's like layers of, they could be how secrets of the earth, what's beneath the earth. When you take this obsession with pyramids into account, and you can clearly see it now as a backup, like the pyramid at the top and then 3 layers below. Ooh, realization across the nation, a revelation, right? And then we go here. And we see what a natural diamond looks like. High grade. None of us get to see them. None of us, they never show them in the shop window in the jewellers, do they? No one, you're sort of not even told about this unless you go like me, who have got into stones and stuff and just my geographical obsession, I suppose. I mean, I'm obsessed with stones and minerals, I always was. But yeah, I want this to be a kind of light-hearted stream. Just I'm not going staying on too long. It won't be 3 hours. I'll tell you that for nothing, right? But isn't that fascinating? This that the natural diamond looks like this. So obviously inside that, there's kind of magical qualities. We all know that, like, pyramids have got some kind of, like, I don't know, some energy that they give off. So every time someone digs one of these up, right, every time the countries that dig these up, when they cut them down and into like what we call cut diamonds or gemstones, they're taking away its natural. They're actually getting rid of most of it for starters, aren't they? Most of that's gone by the time it ends up as a cut stone, and it looks pretty, and it's more sellable. You know what I mean? It's easier to sell. But I would rather buy one of these than have a cut stone, right? I've never owned one of these. I don't, you know, I mean, I've checked them out. You can buy them on eBay and stuff like that. If you want to check it out, anyone who's interested, just go on eBay, type in natural raw diamonds, and you'll find them, right? But back in the day, in the 70s, in the 80s, and even the 90s, I didn't even know they existed. I mean, I'm quite a, you know, I'll turn over every stone to find out the facts about everything, right? And I didn't know about this until it was on the internet, and I could, you know, search for things and stuff and check things. I wanted to find out everything. But isn't it amazing that they form? This is like God's creation, isn't it? Like God makes these exactly like that in the earth, naturally. And then along come the guys, you know, the South Africans or whatever you call themselves, and they change them and make them into a shape that you can't even tell what it was before. And that's, I think they're hiding it. They're hiding the fact that the pyramid is in a raw diamond naturally, right? Now, another stone I've seen, I've got some somewhere. I haven't got them on me now. I haven't got them with me, but I've got stones called magnetite. Magnetite. Right, and I'll do a search. Let's get rid of this picture. Right, I'll show you that it's not just a one-off. Let's do a search and see if I can find one. I'm trying to be as interesting as I can, and kind of boring as well. Magnetite, right? Pictures. And I'll just show you the piece of magnetite. And, you know, to show people I have done my homework, you know what I mean? I've done my homework. See all images, right? Okay. All right. Right, now please have a piece of magnetite. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's the Churchill dog, isn't it? Oh, it's okay. Well, I've just separated the image. Hold on, folks. I'm bringing it over. I want this to be riveting and interesting and, just fun and games for the whole family. Today's speech, right? So here we go. I'm going to show you some stuff called magnetite. Right? Now, here's one picture of a cluster of it, right? You see the cluster? You see the shapes? There are no straight lines in the natural world. Come on, guys. Come on. Right? Here's like a piece of stone with bits of magnetite in it. Now, based on going by the picture of the diamond I've just shown, you see what I'm doing, guys? I showed everything like you know, pyramids everywhere and big blocks of stone everywhere, and the way there's a mad obsession with stones, right? But these things I'm showing people, no one wants you to know. No one wants you to notice these things. You know what I mean? I try my best to lift the veil. Lift the veil of the mystery, Bruce. There's only one viewer at the moment, by the way. But it doesn't matter because people watch these back. I mean, the last video I put up was like, I don't know, 30-something, 40 views. So I'm getting the views and people are interested. If I open one person's mind, I've done my job. If I open two people's mind, I've done my job very, very well. 3, 4, 5, 20, 30 people's minds open because of what I say on this silly little screen. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I could fart. But you can see this here. There's the magnetite is here embedded into these stones, right? And magnetite is more like a cheap metal, right? It's cheap, right? And I can't remember what its main function in life is. I can't remember. It has got a use in society, right? But it's actually magnetic as well. That's the other. It's got a mild magnetic field. It's naturally magnetic, right? So, hence the name magnetite, right? Now I'm going to scroll down and I'll show you a single crystal of magnetite. Here we go. Now you see how it's got the natural pyramids in there. Right. Now, the great creator must do that for a reason, mustn't he? You know what I mean? There must be a reason for this. This just happens by chance, doesn't it, right? Magnetite, you can see buy magnetite crystals at Amazon. Top deals on magnetite crystal. And no one's shaped that. No one's used a milling machine. No one's cut that into shape. I've seen things where people make things, make things in, like steel into triangles and stuff like that using a milling machine. And look what God can do, man. Look what the creator can do. He can do these things like without a milling machine. He can do now. If he can do that, the blink of an eye, and it's like embedded in the earth, all over the earth. There's bits like this everywhere. Just imagine what's in deep space. Just imagine what's all over the place we don't even know about. But I think that's very interesting. See, there's other bits of magnetite, and I don't know if they're natural bits of magnetite, these blobby bits and whatever, like, but you can clearly see that this shape, this pyramid thing, two pyramids joined together, it doesn't just happen in the world of the diamonds. It happens with other stones. Clearly see there, one there, two pyramids together. I've got some of these somewhere. You know what I mean? I'll show them on camera because rocks is my I don't smoke rocks or nothing like that. Yo, where you going? I come from New York. Yo, coming from New York. I come from Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm going to smoke some rocks. But no, I'm into normal rocks, natural rocks. But yeah, magnetite. I've just showed you an example there of a natural pyramidal structure. And then the pictures on what's it called? Google start going into pictures that I'm not even interested in. But there you go. You see that there, right? We can see that's not transparent. That's opaque, of course. It's not transparent. Right? So, we get rid of that. And then we go back to the diamond. Oh, did I close the diamond picture? Did I? Did I? Did I? Did I? Did I? Did I? Right, okay. Let's go. It's down here somewhere anyway. There we go. So you see, now this is not magnetite. Now that was about, I don't know, say an inch high. And the magnetite was an inch high. The magnetite will be worth about £3. And this would be about I don't know, what would that be if it was an inch high, say? Bloody hell, it'd be expensive, wouldn't it? It'd be huge. It'd be worth a fortune, right? But there's a big liar. There's actually a channel on YouTube called Quantum of Conscience, right? And the guy talks about how everyone's been fooled into thinking diamonds are priceless and rare. And they're not. They're not. And if they handed these out to people or allowed people to get to know these stones as they really are, none of us would be sort of falling. It's like if what the eyes don't see, the heart won't yearn for, right? And we wouldn't have all those like films like Diamonds Are Forever. The movies make everything seem glorious and glamorous, and it's to make the rich people think that to make us think that the rich people have got something that we want. You know what I mean? It's like, you got something I want, buddy. And that's not the case, man. It's not the case. So anyway, you see there, maybe one day I'll buy one of them and be able to show it on screen and that, like. But I have never seen one of them in my real life, and with my naked eye in my hand, and either a friend or a person I know, a relative, anything like that in real life, ever. But if there's any attractive women out there who want to buy me one of these, and donate it to me to my channel so I can show it on camera, then I might take it out for a drink. Okay, now I just want to show something. I'm going to take a risk now, a copyright strike risk. I don't really want. I want this to be like I want this to be like pennies dropping in like all kinds of reasons. I mean, I'm sure some people might watch this channel and watch this back tomorrow or in a couple of days or whatever, and they're not aware that not diamonds are shaped like that. You know what I mean? And as soon as that's in the hands of the jeweler, they cut it, don't they? And they cut it down until it's like they must cut the top off there, and then shape the bottom part, or cut the top off there and then shape that side. They must have a technique of cutting it into what they call a diamond cut. But that's interesting, isn't it, right? And then when you think of, like, I'm talking about all the pyramids everywhere and stuff like that. Now, what I want to do is basically say to people, like, here in this country, where I live anyway, I've showed you pictures and whatever of my local vicinity with all these bricks everywhere, these bloody big gigantic cobblestones all over the place. I mean, all over the town, man, right? All over the town. So I want to talk, I want to show a couple of places where they cover them up. They cover them up, right? They cover those cobblestones up with the tarmac for the road surface. Usually on, I mean, all the roads, every road must have them, mustn't it, right? And let me just go on Google Earth, Google Maps. I'm just going to give a couple of examples of why in this area, man. I don't know why, but they make sure them stones don't get covered and they're there forever, like, and they don't seem to get, like you build new houses or you make a new building or whatever, like. And I just don't know why they do it. Why did my map? I went on Google there and I was above Morton, and I don't understand that. Usually you go on, when you first go onto Google Maps, your location is where you are, isn't it? You know what I mean? And my location is Birkenhead, right? And as soon as I switched Google on then, I was above Morton, which is 5 miles away from me. Like, why is my locator telling me I'm in Morton, guys? Somebody trying to hold me prisoner in Morton? Yeah? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? But anyway, I want to zoom into Birkenhead. Let's have a look. I'll just get the map clear, like. Right, that's it, make a separate, what's its face? What would you call it? A separate, oh, what's that word? Tab. That's the word, a separate tab. So the tab is separate, right? Now, let's get on the maps. I just got to show a couple of examples, right, folks? Anyone who's interested, who lives abroad, America or whatever, and they're like, hey, also, greetings, beautiful. Hey, it's Susie to anyone. How are you doing? If you join me late, you can watch this back from the start, and there's a few, interesting facts you might have missed. I don't know if you've seen my previous streams. I put them up, and then there's one that did a 3-hour one. Oh, Jules, she's gone. She's gone to bed. I thought she can't be talking to me. Oh, Jules has gone to bed. She's just gone to bed. But yeah, Susie to anyone just said, greetings, Jules. If you're watching tomorrow, just got here. I'm just listening. Okay. Now, basically, what I'm talking about at the moment is, in my local area, there's a lot of cobblestones. And I don't know why they leave some covered and some uncovered. Right? So what I'm going to do here is my hometown. I'm going to zoom in, as we did in previous videos, to the triangle. The glass triangle. There's the triangle here. All this area here is cobblestones. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Susie21, on the previous videos, I go into detail about my local area. You see obelisks. I even posted one that the last live stream I did, which is like nearly 3 hours long. I show videos of Buckingham Palace with chemtrails overhead, which is quite interesting, you know. Like lots of chemtrails above Buckingham Palace, where you'd kind of least expect that, wouldn't you? We talked about this last time, right? Yeah. Right, now anyway, I'm talking about the glass triangle here, right? Now, that's all cobblestones there, right? And, oh, you were there. Right, okay. And then, here, these roads, all these roads in my local vicinity, they're all covered in tarmac, so you can't see the cobbles, right? And I've shown videos of this actual road when they resurfaced it, so you can see how many cobbles there are. And all these roads, all of them. Now, yeah, I'll go back down here and just focus on that, right? What we were talking about, right? And there's the kind of thing I'm talking about, where this surface is... Someone wanted us to be taken back to ancient Rome, didn't they, basically, you know? And say, we need to put cobbles there and everything. Now, the reason I talk about this area, right, is I had a dream about it, you see. I actually had a dream a while back, like... about a year ago, something like that. And in the dream, I was actually inside these stones, and there was like a complete community going on in there. Oh yeah, the arrow, yeah. The arrow. Yeah, well, I've done a live one since. I don't know if you've seen that one. I've done another live one 2 nights ago, where I elaborated and it went into 3 hours long. It's another video completely, and it's quite interesting. And I talk about Indian turquoises compared to diamond, you know, the North American Indian stone turquoise, and the way our kind of the typical white people would rather have diamonds, right? So anyway, in the dream, I was actually inside this place here, like an entire community, like this detailed. Oh man, I realised why they'd put all these... This is why I'm talking about it, basically. I realised why they put all these cobblestones here. People think it's just for looks, you know what I mean? It's just because it looks nice. Well, it's not. They're trying to hold back time. They're trying to keep it's like you know, in the cartoons when like the mouse tries to run away and the cat just stands on his tail and he can't move. That's how I feel like in this town. I feel like I can't move, because we're surrounded by all this stuff, man. And they're all kind of Roman. They've got Roman states of mind, right? I'm not interested in that kind of stuff, do you know what I mean? I mean, when we were kids, we all used to think the Romans were amazing. You know, but as we become adults, we realise differently, don't we? Maybe a past life. Well, me past lives, I mean... Wow, I don't know where to start on that one. Like, no, this was a dream, and it was like present day, sort of around now. But I knew I was here somewhere, and I was like, let's just suppose I was in one of these stones, one of them. And you've got to think of the vastness of what's going on here, what they're doing, how many stones are there. I mean, we can't count them, can we? How many people know how many stones are placed in that pavement there, right? But someone wanted it done, right? You know what I mean? Someone needed it done badly, like, and I think it's to hold back time. You know, the delay in time, the standing on our tails. I've had dreams like that where I can't run. Yeah, oh man, aren't they weird? They're weird. It's like you're like going up a helter-skelter wearing roller skates. I'm just drinking my tea. I haven't been drinking any alcohol for a while, guys. I'm sort of getting my head clear, and you know, I've got missions to do. I feel like I've got jobs to do. And you know what? I can't understand. I've been noticing, right? We've got this pandemic going on, right? We've only just seen on the news they're saying things like they're going to start making us wear the masks in the streets and stuff like that, right? And then when I watch a YouTube video, an advert will pop up telling me about cruise liners holidays or holidays in Europe and things. Like, there seems to be two worlds. There seems to be a world where everyone's happy having holidays and all that, and then there's us saying being told we're going to be ordered to wear masks and we can't go on holiday or can't do anything. Like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this if it kills me, like, basically. But anyway, back to the subject. So what I'm basically telling you is, like, we can see all these cobbles here because we know they're all exposed, right? But on the roads, you can't see any of them. That road all the way up there is going to be got cobbles. All these roads have got cobbles, but they're completely covered over, right? Now, what I can't understand in this town is there's places where they leave the cobbles exposed, right? I'm going to try my best to explain why I think they do that, because I actually think these things is where the little grey fellas come from. I'm thinking this is a tip of iceberg for us who can't afford cruises. Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, you've got to be wealthy to go on a cruise, haven't you? You can't just go on a cruise, can you? I mean, all of us could go on like a small holiday maybe or something like that, but it's a rich person's luxury going on a cruise, right? So it looks like there's two worlds. There's some kind of duality going on. I don't know. It's like going by them adverts. They can't be having any problems. You know what I mean? It's like, I tell you what was weird when the thing started there in the first place last year, March, wasn't it? Right? Do you remember when the whole thing started? And all the adverts for Easter carried on. You know, in England we have like Easter egg adverts, Cadbury's Easter eggs and Cadbury's mini eggs and cream eggs and stuff like that, and all the adverts were carrying on like it was nothing, like it was like there wasn't even a pandemic going on. We were all in lockdowns and we were having this pandemic, but meanwhile all the Easter adverts were coming on YouTube as well, not just television, on YouTube, weren't they, popping up all these, like, I'm thinking, hold on, some people seem to be having a laugh and we're actually seriously having to deal with draconian Orwellian measures. It's not right, I'm telling me mum. Right, but I go up, like, you see all the map there, you see all the roads are all like all covered, right? Now I'll give you a couple of examples, right? Watch, I know this town like the back of my hand, right? Trying to kill all the joy, meanwhile Hollywood is partying. Someone is, aren't they? Someone's having a laugh while we're all kind of, I mean, I had plans to go busking in Amsterdam or Europe, you know what I mean? I wanted to go to Europe this summer and do some street performing and play some music and have some fun and just generally enjoy myself. And I'm going mad. Like, I was meant to go and see Joe Satriani last year as well, and they stopped that as well, and it's got postponed to this year. And if I can't see Joe Satriani live, I'm starting World War III, you know what I mean? I've never seen Joe Satriani. If they stop me seeing Joe Satriani, that's it. That's the last straw, like. But anyway, here we go. Let's do like a little. I'll show you some areas, and I can't understand it why they leave the cobblestones exposed, right? And some of these cobbles, right, like the majority of them, they're like granite, like I've spoken in the early ones, right? The material that the stones are made of are like granite, right? Usually it's like a granite, right? Now, I'd say, for example, I was here the other day. I'll go to this place. I was on my way home from the shops, and I was walking back, and I stopped, and I thought, why did they leave these cobbles here, man? Now, you can see them from above. Right, you can see them from Satriani. You love Satriani. Joe Satriani. Isn't he brilliant, Satch, man? I think he's brilliant. He is my number one guitar hero. Surfing with the Alien, yeah. He's the number one guitar. Check out his new album. It's called Shape-Shifting. It's not about, I don't think it's about people shape-shifting. I think it's about his guitar shape-shifting, right? Which ain't too bad, is it, right? I'm sure guitars can shape-shift. My guitars shape-shift, I'm sure of it, when I'm asleep. My guitars turn into robots and do things for me. Right. But you know, like Jimi Hendrix's album was called Electric Ladyland, right? You know, the Electric Ladyland album. Well, in the centerfold of the Electric Ladyland record, it's there's loads of naked women in the, you know, when you open the gatefold of the album of the Electric Ladyland record, right? You open it and there's all these naked women sitting there, which ain't too bad. I'm a typical hot-blooded dude, I don't mind. But apparently Jimi Hendrix went apeshit when he seen that, because it wasn't his intended vision of what he was trying to talk about, like. And when you think of the electric guitar as the instead of Electric Ladyland, a studio called Ladyland 2, yeah, right. Well, electric guitars are like women, aren't they, in the hands of a man? The electric Ladyland, you know what I mean? And Hendrix was trying to say, like, the guitar is the lady, isn't it? You know what I mean? And okay, there could be a female human muse attached to every guitar, the muse in every violin, the muse in every cello or whatever, yeah. And Hendrix intended, Electric Ladyland to be about the guitar being the lady. And obviously someone in the record company, probably was henpecked by some chick or something, I don't know, and they put all these naked women in the cover. And apparently Jimi Hendrix didn't ask for that at all. He went mad about it, like, when he saw it, because he said, it was too perverse and too over. It was given too much credence to the naked women, you know what I mean? As, like, instead of, like, the guitars, you see. They refers to exactly, dudes see the cars as an extension of the phalanx, don't they? You know what I mean? That's why they don't drive minis. Just drink me tea, right? Now, you're looking above here, right? Now, see this here. If you look here, right, you can't really tell. Right, I know this town like the back of my hand. I grew up here, and a lot of these are new buildings. Relatively new. Stuff like this was new. But there were streets everywhere, right? And there's what we call back entries. We call them back entries in England. We nickname them jiggers or entries, and they're usually where people's back doors are, into the gardens or the yards or whatever, right? And this area here, for example, right, there was these green squares here, right? These were all houses here once upon a time. These were all houses here once upon a time. And this area here was houses here. All this green area here was all houses and shops all the way up. You know what I mean, right? Now, looking up from above, no one notices these things because, they're not local or whatever. Why would anyone want to come and look at my hometown, Birkenhead? Right. Now, if I go over here, for example, and I zoom into where there's an entry still, what we call a back entry, which I'll zoom in as close as I can. And there's kind of like an entry there, like a passageway there between the houses. Right, and what we used to do, we used to have back entries, and they would have run along here, sort of thing, between the houses that would have been here. Really hard to explain this, really, like, but here they've left the entry, what we call the entry. See the ground there, right? So you can see, like, and there, right? So this is like a line that goes from there, and the entry ends there, and then an entry starts there, ends there. And then that's an entry there, because this would have had houses right up to it. The back doors would have been right up to there, right? And these are what we call entries or jiggers, right? That's our nickname in Merseyside. We call it jiggers, right? So if you're with me, if you hear me say the word the jiggers, right, it's the back entries of houses where the doors to the backyard used to be, right? Now I'm going to zoom into I don't know if I can, I can zoom in here, right? Now I'll show you watch this, see this floor here, just like a white floor, isn't it, right? Or a white path, right? When you go close up, right, there's the houses there, right? Let's turn. Now, what do you see when you look down? Now, they're very unusual, these stones, mate. I've always wondered, right? They've got an alien quality to them, right? You see, you get what I'm saying, right? If I stand back, there'd have been a wall there and houses here, and that would have been like a passageway between. See the way this wall is here with this door? Same would have been here, but it'd have been like a back wall, you know what I mean? And so you'd walk through there, and it'd be like an entry, like a passageway, basically. But you see the way the floors. Now, I don't know what it's like in America. You wouldn't see anything like this in the States, would you? I'm sure you've never seen. Because we're close to Europe, you see. Britain was invaded by the Romans, right? Now, these weren't put there by Romans, obviously, you know, these are done in more like maybe the 40s, the 30s, I'm not sure the year they did this, right? I'll just drink my tea. Now, when you look close, do you see this, the colour of them? They're like this, occult doors, definitely occultic. Well, they're in pairs anyway, right? They're in pairs. You know, look, because I can't put my counter on. I've got the arrow comes, the arrow. But you see the way they're not one stone at a time. They're not like single stones on their own, like squares, like cubes. You know the one I held up to the camera the other night? These are in pairs. Those stones are actually joined together. You see, we got like a little sort of line in the middle of them, and I assume that's like so like when the bricklayers or the the people who fit these stones into the ground, if they need to cut corners and see like there, for example. I know the arrow comes up, but you know where the hand is with it. See there's only one like a square on its own, right? Because that's all that's necessary to fill the gap, right? So I take it the little line down the middle of these, shall we say, bricks, is so you can chop them in half easily, you know what I mean? You have a technique of just knocking them in half if they have to, right? Now, I was hidden before, yes, like I asked what arrow pointed at, wondered if it was there. Okay, right, now, you see these stones, man, that I don't know what they're made of, right? They're not granite. I don't know what it's called, but there's this blue, that colour you can see on the screen, this blue sheen, this weird blue sheen. It's on the surface of them. And I always looked at these stones and thought, these don't seem earthly to me. They don't seem earthly, like they seem like Martian or something, or I can't nail it right. Cobbles are a sign of Masons. Well, more than oh wow, this is the weird thing. I think my fervent belief, right, is aliens, or what we call aliens, you know, the greys. The greys come from these things. I think that's where they come from. I think alien greys have made everyone think they come from space and all that kind of stuff. And I think they live in these, you know. It's a bit of a crazy assumption, like, right? But if you see here now, if I go back, right, and I just look ahead, right, I want to go about here. Say I go there, right? I want it to be dead level with the, and I just move forward slightly. Now, you see what I'm saying, the way from above, there's the other entry there, right? Right, there's an see the way they put the bins, that's the tradition, is put the bins in the entry, you see. So you can see the same cobbles there, right? And then you cross the road here. And there's the same cobbles there, right? Going along there. And then over there in the distance where the little hand is, there's another row there, right? And we'll do a leap. Let's go over there now. So I'll just show you, right? Can I land here? Yeah, I can. Great. So I can go in between them, can't I, right? So you get a kind of perspective. I was just saying from my... Crowley was in contact... Well, I'm going to talk about that. You're right. Yeah, right. This is a very important point. You just made a brilliant point there. Crowley, you know the name of the alien that he spoke to was called Lam. Lam, Lam. Right. I'll show pictures of that in a minute. You see, you're joining the dots there. You're doing me a favour. Big time there, right? I didn't have to say it myself. Someone else said it. Crowley was in contact with the alien, right? Now, one thing we know about Crowley, right? He didn't tell lies, right? That's one thing I can... I don't like the guy. I think he's shady, he's dodgy, right? But you know one thing I like about him? He spoke his mind, right? He told the truth without any shame or reserve, didn't he? He called himself the Beast. He said he's done every detestable thing under the sun. He wouldn't hide it. That's one thing we can count on with Crowley, right? That's one thing, one of his good qualities, right? He would tell it like it is, and he won't hide nothing good or bad, right? Now, if Aleister Crowley tells us he got his information and his crazy stuff from this balloon head alien, right, then we can be rest assured that Aleister Crowley was in communication with a balloon head alien. You know, right? And there's the other path there, by the way, look. You see, it goes along there and it ends there, right? I'm going to show you something even more strange, guys. You're gonna be really creeped out by this while I show you this, right? Right now, so if I step back, right, and I turn around, watch, I'll turn around, full circle, right? And there's that path there. I was standing there before when we were looking at this row, and over there's that row there. Now, why would they leave these exposed, or why didn't they remove them? Why don't they get rid of them? Why don't they take them away and put something else there? Why have everything's been modernised, right? Right. Why has everything been modernised? But they've left these here because I think they've got something in them and they don't want to get rid of them just yet, you know what I mean? Now, here's the fascinating thing about this, right? Me dad, me old man, me dad, me popper, me old man, me alco pop. Funny how much his picture looks like a grey, and that was in the 1940s. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that, right? I'm going to show you something really interesting about that in a minute, right? Before I go there, you see, I'm going to explain to you, right? The houses all around this area that used to be here were always reported to be haunted. You know what I mean? Before Roswell, exactly. See, you know what Roswell is? It's a diversion to make us think they come from outer space, isn't it? It's military. Roswell is where the military make their aircraft and spaceships and things. You know what I mean? That's let's face it, the military. Oh man, I've got some interesting footage. Have you seen the footage of the UFO on my channel, by the way? What I filmed by accident. I actually filmed a UFO. It's on my channel. No one believes me. It's real. Excuse me gulping noises. I'm trying to finish my tea off. Right, so what I'm doing is, right, I'm joining the dots between these cobblestones and the Romans and stuff like that, right? And then presence of aliens, right? Presence of aliens. When we say aliens, demons, interdimensional, exactly. Come from obelisks, they come from granite. Interdimensional is their realm, right? Right? When I say alien, I mean unwelcome visitor, right, guys? Don't get me mixed up with that they come from outer space. Unwelcome visitor, that's what I mean, right? Now there, we've got cobbles here, right? I've just showed you cobbles everywhere, right? Now go above, again, so you get a kind of... I'll just go back to where it was, so you can get a... Let's change my direction. I was up here. Let's go around. Right, back to that direction that we're all familiar with, right? And there's those three lines there of cobbles, right? Now you get me, you know, like the way they've got the Nazca lines in the desert or whatever. Those, like, haven't you seen vid? But haven't seen your vid, but have one of own, right? Okay, we'll get on that subject on another video, okay? But you see what I'm saying about the straight lines here, and they're made of cobbles. They can be seen above and like, say, tracked or whatever, don't we? Right? You know, we you know what I'm saying? It's like the Nazca lines. It can be seen from above, and you know that there's a matrix there of little tiny squares that, you know, I think there's a lot more in them. I actually think they're like networks, right? Now here's the interesting part. Down here, if I come down here, right, onto the road, right. That's where I'm looking at in the dark. Those passageways are over there behind all this overgrowth, right? Those passageways run along there, you know what I mean, and they end there, sort of thing, right? From over there, there's a whole strip of strange blue-coloured cobblestones that run along here, right? Which I've just showed you to be hidden behind all of this. You know, when you're driving past you on the roads, all the cobbles are hidden, aren't they? Oblivious, man. Oblivious, right? Now, here's the strange fact. Here, there used to be houses. When I was a kid, I remember them, right? There was houses there, houses here, shops and everything. You know, big houses up to the, you know, quite high up. And it's all been knocked down. And for strange reasons, they don't build anything on there for a long time. I don't know why they leave these places bare, you know. Do you mean, well, they could be ley lines, couldn't they? But like man-made ley lines. These cobbles are like the equivalent of ley lines that run throughout our towns, right? Especially in England, they're everywhere. You know, Manchester, Liverpool, all the cities and towns where everyone's got no money, basically, right? Now, this place here, there used to be houses here, right? And my dad, my old man, used to live in one of them when he was a child, right? And there used to be a house here, and there used to be flats above. This is what a lot of people don't know. My dad was like, he was born in 1926, right? He's on the other side now, like, but he was quite an old guy, and when he got married and settled down, he was in his 30s, do you know what I mean? But 1926, I mean, bloody hell, it's going back, isn't it, right? But when he was a child and he lived with his mum, his old man went a bit mad and he had to be kind of incarcerated. He had a mental illness, right, shall we say. So he was fatherless, basically. You know, his real dad wasn't around, like, you know what I mean? So he was used to going around with his mum and his sister from house to house or whatever, right? Now, if you imagine here a big block of shops or whatever, and they used to live in a flat, his window would be about there somewhere on this main road. And he always used to say, right, my dad always used to say that he had a little toy trumpet. He was only a toddler, and he had a toy trumpet that he used to keep it in his bedroom and put it under his pillow and things like that, he said, right? And sometimes when he wasn't in the bedroom, right, and he was downstairs or something, he could hear someone playing the trumpet in the bedroom, you know. Isn't that eerie, you know what I mean? There was no one else lived there. There's no kids there. There was just him and his sister, right? And his sister was with him or whatever. Oh, it might have been before she was born. I'm not sure. I think she was too little, right? But he always used to say someone used to play that trumpet in the bedroom sometimes, and he'd go upstairs and go to get the trumpet, and it'd be left on the bed or whatever, and no one was there, you know what I mean, right? So he was basically telling us that there was something there, you know, kind of haunting the house, right? Now, here we go. No, you say like occultism, right? Check this out, right? Check this out, right? I'll go along here, right? And I'll just show you. This is just one example, right? One example. I'm going to go along this street and just check this out, right? Up this street. Right? Okay. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Check out these fence posts of these houses that have been here for years. I'm going to turn to me right. Ooh. Right. I could just go a little bit further. Hey presto, what do you see? Ooh. And my old man used to say that in the vicinity he felt like he was haunted. Now, I mean, is there any... I mean, what do you see? Do you see what I see? Pentagrams. Right, I'll go further up. Look, most of these are knocked down, by the way. Most of these are gone, right? Most of these are gone, right? But this is how observant I am. Look, that's a house. Normal house. And you see the fence posts. Pentagrams, right? There's two there. Go back there a bit. So someone's putting occultic symbolism in the houses when they're building them, for crying out loud. Let's go further up. Susie 21 puts a pencil. Is that eerie or what, right? Now, there's not many of these left, right? They've sort of been... There's two there, look. You see there, right? So looking back at this street, you know, there's a row of pentagrams, right? I'll do a leap to another street quite similar, right? There we go. Let's see. Where am I going? Here we go. Watch, I'll show you another street. This is still in Birkenhead. This is still Birkenhead, right? And this street here. It's called Cobble Street. We go to Cobble Street. I've got a story about this street, by the way. I was beaten up by a gang in this street, right? I was beaten up by a gang in this street. And, oh man, it turned into a really violent fight, right? I was about there where that person is there, and I was beaten to a pulp by a gang anyway. Lots of homes have them here in the States too. Wow, that's crazy. Right, and here we go. I'll go up a little bit further up this road. And there you go. Here we are. The very same occultic symbolism in the fence posts. So we know there's something. Now, what else do you notice about these fence posts? Pyramidical. Not just, well, yeah, not just pyramidical, like, but pyramidical. Right. Now let's just go back a bit. So they're the only ones left in that street, by the way, as far as I know. If you know, watch it, go right down the bottom. Do you see the way everything's been replaced? Right. You see everything's been replaced. Look, they're modern, right? And look what they do. They put pyramids on there as well, right? You can see that's yeah, it is a pyramid. That's a pyramid, right? That one's missing, isn't it, right? We see the modern fence post. Oh, something's going wrong with my video. Wow. It's alright. I thought me screen went weird on YouTube. Some kind of markers. Do you reckon? Isn't this crazy? Are we surrounded by occultism, right? Now, you can see there, these modern walls, there's no sign of it, right? Well, strangely enough, they make sure. See, these are a little bit more elaborate. There's none on them. But there you go, just them three there. 1, 2, 3. Right? And oddly enough, I was beaten up here. I was actually, this actual place here where this fence is, I was beaten up by a gang, and it turned violent, and I've got a story to tell about it. It was a really bad fight, you know what I mean? And I nearly killed someone, actually, you know what I mean? It was a really terrible fight, like. It's another story. Right, so you see the pentagrams there, right? So you know there's something doesn't add up here, right? Now, I'll go back to where we were. Right? Most of these houses, them fence posts don't exist anymore, right? They've got rid of them, so you can't really tell, right? I'll go right back to where we were before, right? There we are. Let's just turn it around. Get that kind of... I've lost my perspective. Right, you see where we are now again back. There's those straight lines there of cobbled stones. How old were you? How old was I when I was beaten up, you mean? About that incident, I was about, hold on, let me think, 16, 17, I think. I was a teenager, 16, 17. Really violent, terrible fight. And I'll talk about that another time, like. So you go back here, right, and we see this again, right? Just going back to here, right, and so you can see the cobbles again, right? There we go. Now I want to know what this stuff is. I've never really known. It's like, yeah, I was 16, 17. It's like shiny silver. It's like a silvery blue, glossy. It's glossy and shiny, this stuff. You know what I mean? When it's wet, it's slippy. It's weird, man. It's a weird substance. I don't know what it is, right? Now, yeah, I was just a kid. 16, 17. And, whoa, we got jumped, actually. I got a bottle over my head and I got battered. And then I got off the ground and battered one of them. Like, I'll talk about it in detail. Like, you know, I really... it was a strange event, to be honest. Right, so we've got these cobbles here, right? and I'll go above them, right? You see, it's like a straight line there, right? Now I'll go to another place, right? And like, I can't understand. Now let's see, before we go up, I'm hoping that Google haven't updated this, right? Hopefully Google have not updated this, right? Now here's a place, right, in Birkenhead. Let's see, have they updated it? I think they have, haven't they? Right, but all this road here. Oh, they haven't, look. There we go. You see this now? This is all covered up now. Right? You see this? This is all covered up now. This has been tarmacked after years and years. I'll go above here. Now, go above it. Now, have you noticed they've updated it already? That's like a normal road surface. You see, the actual Google have updated it. Sorry for asking. I don't mind. Ask me anything you want. Anyone ask me any questions. I don't mind answering questions. You know what I mean? I actually welcome questions big time, to be honest. Right, now you see this road surface. This is the evidence. I'm going to have to record this somehow because I can't. I was going to photograph it, like, to talk about it, right? Right. Now, Google obviously update their, the aerial photographs. They must update before they have the little car going around doing it on the ground, won't they? You know what I mean? And some streets don't get updated, do they? Right. Now, you remember when I was talking about the golden dolphin I found on the floor and all that kind of stuff, close by these fence posts that have been taken, bricks seem to be taken away from them, right? Now, this club here, this used to be called the Dolphin. This was a youth club when I was a teenager, right, or a youth. This was actually called the Dolphin, this place. It was called the Dolphin, right? Now, this street behind the Dolphin, the fire station used to be there. And now it's there, you see. See there, that's our fire station, our local fire station, right? And this big complex here, right, football pitches and everything, it's a youth club called the Hive. You know, Hive, you know everyone says hive mind society, right? And have a guess who came to open it and officially launch it? The future King of England, Prince William, and his wife, Kate Middleton. Or it was Harry. I think Harry's been there as well, but both, I know for sure Prince William came here to Birkenhead, especially to come to this place. The Hive, you see the title there, the Hive Wirral. They're the Hive Wirral Youth Zone, right? Now, this is the weird thing, right? Royalty they actually came here to open this place up, basically. Don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go at William and Kate, okay? It's not about that, right? But what do you see? Like I say, I'm glad they haven't updated it. Thank goodness I'm getting this video out before they've updated it, right? And there you see, granite. These are proper granite. You see the Roman cobbles. So can I go along here? Let's see. Yeah, I can go along here. It's actual, see, because it's been made into the, see how modern it is. See the colours and everything. And it's proper. It's like bands practice there. People play football there. All the local youths go there. But it's called Hive, isn't it? So what's it doing to the youth? It's telling them the Queen Bee, isn't it? You know, the Queen Bee. Now, the future, if William does ever get to the throne, right? Kate Middleton's already been here, man. She could be the future queen, couldn't she, Kate Middleton? Like I say, guys, I'm not having a go at either Kate Middleton or Prince William, because I don't like joining on that kind of bandwagon. I'm anti-royal, I'm anti-establishment, do you know what I mean? But I don't really think anything badly of Prince William, basically. He might hate my guts. He's probably had me tortured or something I wouldn't know about it. I don't know. Anyway, but you see the efforts they put into this, man. Right. So go along, right, and you can clearly see, there you go. It's one of the few streets that's still cobbled, right? Now, I went there the other week, and I was pissed off because I thought, oh my word, they've tarmacked it, and they've covered it now. Now, when they tarmac it, obviously no rain can fall on them stones anymore, you know what I mean? Whereas while it's all exposed like that, the rain can fall down, can't it? And you know, they get wet, and then the sun shine on it and whatever, and all those sort of, all that chemistry, right? But You can clearly see. Doesn't it look like ancient Rome? You know what I mean? It's like ridiculous, mate. It's a giveaway, isn't it? At the Hive, right? Royalties even visited there. There's the proof, right, that we're connected to Rome, and we don't even exist to royals, exactly. So obviously there's a Roman connection, obviously, right? I'll go along the street here, and then I'll look back, right? So like you see where they've tarmacked here for the car park area, right? There's the normal. They started that there, and now, see, and that's looking back the other way. You can clearly see it's a Roman cobbled road, right? Now, remember, this isn't a jigger, what I was saying earlier, what we call a jigger, an entry, right? It's not a back entry or a jigger, right? This is an actual street. All the streets in Birkenhead were like this once upon a time. So, let's leave. And there's the fire station there I was talking about. And this is the club. I take it that's the gymnasiums, and I can't really zoom into the top of the building anyway. So, now I'll go to another place, right? I'll go to another place. And I want to show you another place, right? Which is another street in Birkenhead. Not far from this is Hamilton Square, right? And this is our town hall. I'll just so you understand a bit of I'll give you a bit of a kind of crash course about our town. Can I go down to the ground here? Let's see. No, I've got to go on the road. Now that's the cenotaph there. That's our cenotaph where, you know, when we have Poppy Day and, you know, war memorials. That's the cenotaph, right? Okay, I can go down on the ground there, right? And there's Hamilton Square, right? That's what's called Hamilton Square. There's the cenotaph there, right? And here is our town hall, right? Here is our town hall. Okay. Right, got to eat dinner shortly. I'll be listening. Much love, Roller. Okay. Like I say, you can always watch these back another time, you know what I mean? That's what I always post everything up. I don't edit them like so. Anyway, I'm carrying on talking, right? Now, there's the town hall, right? Now, when you look up, if you look closely, and I do look at all the buildings and that, right? Right? You zoom into there, look, you see 4 lions with shields. There's a lion there, a lion there, a lion there, and they've got shields. And then, if I go up, you can see, what does it look like? It looks like a Roman temple. I'm not complaining about the architecture looking like, you know, I think it looks okay and that, like, but we're obviously in some kind of Roman-dominated place, like. That's 3 viewers still at the moment. Okay, so one's listening. Right, so you see the Roman type architecture there, right? Now I'm going to go just one of the weirdest places. The reason I don't know why they cover places, and I don't know, you know, the cobbles. I don't know why some places they cover them and some places, you know, they're left exposed, right? That's what this video is all about, is like opinions. What do people think? Now, I'm looking for another street. Let's go up. And this is one of the relevance. What's the relevance, Bruce? What's the relevance? Okay, here we go. Place called Argyle Street. Now this place is quite, if you go back and check the history of Birkenhead, there's all kinds of stuff. Argyle Street, there was theatres here and stuff like that, and famous people like Laurel and Hardy and people like that were visited there or whatever. Like, we were quite world famous, Birkenhead, once upon a time. Now this is the street I want you to all take into account. It's called Douglas Street, right? And it runs from Hamilton Street to Argyle Street, right? Now you see it's called a street. Douglas Street. It doesn't say entry or back entry or whatever, right? Now I'll go to the ground right at the end. And what do you see? It's cobbled, yes, it's another cobbled street, right? But look how narrow it is, guys. Look at that car there. Look at that car there. And the width of this so-called street. They've even got yellow lines to say that you're not supposed to park there, right? I mean, anyone that doesn't live here, you might be interested in this, you know what I mean? Right, so now, and you notice about this one, there's like big blocks of running right down the middle of it. This is different to all the other streets. And you can see there's actual curbs made of granite run all the way up. These are usually granite, right? Now this, I think, is one of the only, I think it's one of the only streets in Birkenhead that's actually like this. This actual style and this narrow. It really does look like a Roman street, right? And we'll go the other end. Can I go up it? Yeah, I can. I think I can. Can we go? Yeah, we can travel up the street. Now you see it. This isn't the front of the houses. This is the back of the houses. See, these are the back guards. See the backs of the buildings, the windows. The backs of the buildings, right? Going along Douglas Street, right? Now Douglas, right? My sister's not on at the moment, right? Or Jules isn't on, right? But anyone who's familiar with the Isle of Man, you'll know that Douglas is the capital of the Isle of Man. It's their city or their major town. It's called Douglas, right? I assume this place is named after Douglas, right? Now, look, you see, these are modern kind of stones there. These are modern pavements. This is modern brickwork. Everything's been modernised. This is still a bit old. Why did they leave this like this, man? Why did they leave this like this, right? You see these smaller ones. Right, I'll go right along. You can see by the clues in your town. I'll be getting off soon, by the way, guys. I just want to do a brief thingy-majig. Right, now you can clearly see, right? Now, I've got a story to tell. Now, you see these are little ones. See the way this area is like smaller stones. We say, well, what's the point of doing that? Why are they varying from bigger stones to little tiny ones there? And then you go along a bit further and they're full size. And you go right along. You get right to the top of this street. I'm amazed that the Google map will allow me to go along here. And look, you notice there. You notice there on the beginning, it's the same again, look. See, I'm on Hamilton Street again now. Looking back down the other way towards Argyle Street's down there. Right. So here's the cobbles, right? Now, that's what I'm trying to point out is the difference between the stones, look. Oh, come on, Brucey, let's have a look. There we go. So you see the scale of the stones, you know when I say things, they shrink from one size to another, from full size to smaller to miniature, and then eventually, look, see, they're tiny. Tiny little squares compared to these. These are approximately the same size as the cobblestone I showed on camera the other day, right? Big cubes, right? Now here's the weird thing, right? I went walking down this street one night in the early hours when I used to live in another house in Birkenhead. And while I was doing my discoveries, and I didn't have a computer or nothing like that, right, folks? I'm just belching here because of my tea. Hold on. I didn't have a computer or nothing. And I wasn't on the internet. We're talking about, what year? About 2000? About the year, it's about 20 years ago, right? And one night I decided to go for a walk, right? And it was in the early hours, it was late at night, right? And the way I can put it, right, I'll just go to the end and look back towards it so you can get a kind of perspective on. I wish I could, I wish Google had, right? You know what they should have? Nighttime and daytime. Wouldn't it be interesting if you could go like, flick a switch and it says nighttime and it's nighttime so you can see what it looks like at night with the street lights and everything, right? But we can't do that, right? Now, there's a pub here called the Copperfield on the corner, right? The Copperfield. And anyway, I came here one night and I went for a walk. I was on my own, just walking around, and something told me to walk down this street, right, Douglas Street, which I did on my own, right. And I was walking along here, right. Now let's just imagine I'm walking along, right, at night time. Now, I've just said there, this is one of the unusual things about this street is we've got the curbs. These are edges here. These curbs are old as the original curbs, right? You can see that. Look, it's weird. Isn't it weird the way it's intact, right? And this here along the middle is the original. It's all original, this, right? They might have just put a little replacements here and there, right? I don't know how old it is, you know what I mean? But the weird thing was, right, as I was walking along here, right, I had this sense that I was being watched. I felt like I was being watched, and I don't know what it was, right? And throughout the walk, I was looking down, you know what I mean? I was looking at the floor thinking, I don't know what it is. I just feel like I'm being watched here. I can't nail it, like, basically. And I done the walk. I walked along here, right? Let's just imagine Bruce is walking along, and, right? And like I say, you can see the curbs are still there and everything, right? And then I got to the end, and then I went home and forgot all about it. I wasn't, like, really there for any particular... I was just doing one of me, like, I don't know, fact-finding walks, right? And I got home, right, and say here, if you notice they're slightly different material as well. It's weird, man. But this stone, right, the edges, I felt like I was being watched from that side and that side as I was walking along, right? And I'm trying to explain it, like. And when I got back to me house where I was living, I put the television on and just sat down casually watching television. And basically, I don't know what it was. It's like sometimes God shows me things through television, you know what I mean? He says, like, you know, watch what's on the screen, Bruce. It's going to show you something. And it might not be anything to do with proper normal television. I don't know if anybody else out there has had that experience where God can actually use television to show you something, right? And so I sat down and I got this weird... I don't know what the film was. I don't know what the program was. I don't even understand what it was. But I seen like as if, like, it was like a close-up of that. And, you know, if you imagine I'm walking past, but you can't see me. You couldn't see me. It was like, oh, man, I don't know how to describe it. But you seen alien greys basically popping their heads up all the way along there, watching to see, like, who's this walking past at this time? You know, because it was like in the early hours, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning or something. And people don't normally walk down these alleyways in the early hours, do you know what I mean? Unless they're leaving, they're going to a nightclub or something, right? And what I think God was saying to me, this was the street you're walking along, right, Bruce? This is where I got my inclination at these stones. I've got these greys in or whatever, right? I actually seen the faces of alien greys popping up there. And they sort of came to the fore, you know, you could see the faces come to the fore as though they were looking through a window, as if to say, who's this walking past, you know what I mean? And then they retreated back again as I walked past. So as it was going along, there'd be like a face there, and that'd retreat, and then a face there, and that would retreat, and then a face there. You know, it was like as though each stone, see the way they're all separate stones? It's as though each stone had an alien grey in them. They were watching me walking along. It's one of my weirdest experiences, right? This has got nothing to do with Area 51. This has got nothing to do with Roswell or, you know, space travel or anything like that. I could see these alien greys popping their heads up all the way along there, watching me as I walk past. It was weird. I don't know how to describe it. I'll try and do it in a diagram or something, like, you know what I mean? And I like animate it. I'll try and animate it one day to show you exactly what I've seen. Does that make sense to anyone who's watching this? Has anyone had that experience, right? So you see, each one of these stones seems to have guardians or a sentinel keeping an eye out, if you know what I mean. So they're that fast. Just by walking along here, they came out to see who it was. They were like, someone walking past, who is it like? Let's have a look. and they just have one look and then retreat. You know what I mean? And so all the way along there, as I was walking, I bet you all the way along they were popping up, looking at me walking along to see where I was going. Right? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Now what I'll do is I'll go up in the sky. Let's go above, right, and just look down at it, and it just looks like a normal street, doesn't it? It doesn't even look any. You know, you wouldn't think of it. No, you wouldn't think of it being looking like an old Roman road, would you? You know what I mean? Right. So, I am convinced that those alien greys, what we call alien greys, I call them the little fellas, the little grey fellas. I think they come from them stones, right? And by putting them everywhere in the roads and everything, and there's your proof, obviously, there's your proof that we've got them everywhere, like, that they're still there, I think we're surrounded by the pixies, the pixels, as I've been saying in other videos. But this is probably one of the weirdest streets in Birkenhead, to be honest. It's called Douglas Street. There's the sign there. Look, I'll show you the proof that it's actually a street. There you go. There's the sign there. Douglas Street. Which is named. I don't know if the place in the Isle of Man is named after this, or this is named after the place in the Isle of Man. Who knows, eh? But it's got connections to Romans, hasn't it? This place has got connections to Romans, man. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm telling you now, man. This place got connection to Romans and alien greys. No doubt about it. Right, so there you go. There's an interesting thing about this place, right? And I'm going to sort of wrap up, right? I'm going to wrap up. How long have I been on? I'm going to wrap up. I'll just bear in mind what I said about the diamonds. Bear in mind what I said about the royal family. Bear in mind what I said about royalty and visiting Birkenhead, even going to see that place where there's cobblestones. I mean, I'd love to talk to Prince William about it and say, what do you think, man? Right, now here's my point. Here's my great big crux in that, like, of the whole speech before I go. Because I don't know if this is interesting, I don't know. I'm trying to think, was there something else I wanted to talk about? No, but in general, right? So let's leave Birkenhead for now. Is there anywhere else I want to show you? Where's any of those cobblestones? Not at the moment. No, right. Okay, so I'll get off the Google, right? And we will show something else that... Okay, this is what we're going to show. Aleister Crowley. We know the guy does not tell lies, right? We know the guy does not tell lies. He's bad, he's evil, he's the most detestable man on earth, but you can count on the guy telling the truth. So, I will type in, right, Crowley. Now, you got to bear in mind that this creature that he drew this picture. Remember, this was actually drawn by Crowley, for crying out loud, right? Crowley drew this picture himself, right? He drew this picture himself to tell us this was his little friend, right? Right, we'll show a picture of Crowley himself to say, at least we can count on the guy, at least being honest, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's evil. At least we know that guy will not waste our time bullshitting and trying to bum steer us, right? Because he's talking to occultists and he wants them to go the same way, right? And this is it, right? This is the thing. This is the thing that Crowley drew, right? Now, we notice it hasn't got those big eyes like the alien greys or whatever we're used to with the big eyes, right? Aleister Crowley drew this picture himself, yeah? We know there's this little alien thing, pixie, pixel, whatever, right? He probably had communication through these creatures, or through this creature, through interdimensional portals, which probably came through Cleopatra's Needle, obelisks, that kind of structure. It would have been granite. It's got to be granite, I think, right? This little thing, mate, it looks so funny, it looks so comical, right? It looks so comical, doesn't it, you think? You know, and it's probably the most horrible, evil thing we'll ever come across on Earth. It's probably, you know, it's probably like, I don't know whether it's still alive, I don't know whether it still exists, right? But I'm going to leave you on a note, right, where I want to say, what does it look like, man? It looks like an alien grey, doesn't it? It looks like an alien. Obviously, it's got a big, I call them balloon heads, right? Because for obvious reasons, they've got a head like a balloon, right? It's a bloody big balloon. There's another one, right? I mean, people don't even want to know about this, do they? It's like, don't talk about that. I don't know anymore, right? Here's the other strange thing about it. Like, Crowley drew this, right? This is Crowley's picture, right? I mean, thanks to Aleister Crowley for at least showing us these things and letting us know. Whether it's, like I say, I'm going to do another talk about Crowley and how I've seen him affect me. One of my cousins was into Aleister Crowley, you see. And he went bonkers and he went off the rails and he did all kinds of strange things. And I've got videos of him and everything to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, this is an interesting thing to show you in the future. My cousin, who worshipped Aleister Crowley, mate, he thought Aleister Crowley was the dog's bollocks. I always disagreed with him, you know what I mean? But anyway, here's the balloon head lamb, right? This creature called lamb that Crowley said he learnt all his evil stuff and everything, right? Not nice stuff, right? Now, what does it look like? What's the nearest thing you've seen? Everyone will say an alien grey, won't they? But the eyes are horrible little pippy eyes, aren't they? Little beady eyes, right? So, let me show you, man. Let me show you what I think it reminds me of. We type in this word. It. Movie. Pictures, right? I'm thinking, probably now that you've seen what I'm talking about, you probably all know where I'm going. Bam. Now, is that one ugly motherfucker? Is that the same? I mean, look at its head, right? Okay, he's got he's got hair to make him look like a clown, right? You know, I hate clowns, me mate. I hate clowns. All the kids know the clowns aren't funny. All the kids know the clowns are scary, right? But you see where it all ties in, where aliens have been, you know, greys, little fellas, little lambs, or whatever you want to call them. They've been tarted up to look like pixies, elves. You know, like a diversionary tactic, imps. Like a diversionary tactic, so that they seem like they be, you know, the kids will be friends with them or whatever. Like, now this film, I haven't even seen this film because, in my opinion, it's horrible. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll be able to sit through it because this thing is so annoying to look at, right? Oh man, it's so horrible, isn't it? Look, right? You see the resemblance? Is there a family resemblance there or what, mate? Am I missing something or what? Is that a family resemblance, right? All he has to do is put the wig on, yeah, and have the clown makeup. All he's got to do is have clown makeup on, yeah. And we've got that, haven't we? Right. Now, this is the strange thing, because I've never seen this film and I don't want to watch it, like, because it's a horror film for starters. And what does he do? What does the character do? He abducts little kids, doesn't he? And, you know, treats them like shit and tortures them. I haven't seen it, you see. I don't know anything about it. But he targets children, doesn't he? Right. Right. And he's as ugly as sin, right? And he's got like a ceremonial gown on, hasn't he? Like what you call it's a clown costume, right? Now look at this, look. all the alien grey pictures, they never have clothes on or anything, do they? You know what I mean? What's Crowley done? He's put like a ceremonial cloak on it. Like he's got clothes on, like he's some kind of like high, like arch wizard or something, or arch wizard or something, right? It's because he's got his cloak on, like, and that, right? And then there's the clown, right? And someone told me, I overheard someone on YouTube talking about the film It. Remember, we could just refer to an alien or an invader or some kind of horrible creature that's invading our lives that we don't know what it is, right? There's a picture there, like, no. And that's how the film starts, doesn't it? Where does it come from? The kids looking into the grid under the ground. I know this is only a movie, guys. I know they're only acting, right? But the kid looks underground and he's hiding in the grid, isn't he? And he's sort of, he's creeping around underground, right? And in America, these holes, these gaps in the ground are where the paving stones are, on the very edge of the paving stones, aren't they? Do you get me? What I was talking about the street before, where I was walking along Douglas Street, and I could see these aliens' faces coming to emerge into the stone, looking at me, walking past, and then retreating. You know what I mean? I've got some stories to tell me, mate. You know what I mean, right? He's looking at the edge of the pavement there, isn't he? And that's what they're like in America. They've got those, like a gutter for the rain to run down, isn't it? Like, and the little creature's got a little place to hide, hasn't he? The clown. But it's look. I can't. I don't know what to say anymore. How can any parents take the kids to see clowns, mate? How can anyone hire a clown for a party knowing about this? Parents, you need to take a rain check and get your heads checked and, sorted out, because, you know what I mean? Telling your kids to buzz off clowns, you gotta be mad. You gotta be mad to even tell your kids, look at this one, mate. I don't even know what that is. Look at that. Is that the actual creature when he's biting someone? Look at his teeth. That's not human, is it, right? But I overheard someone talking about the movie on YouTube, doing a review or something. And as soon as they said these words, the movie about a shape-shifting alien dressed as a clown. Do you get me, guys? A shape-shifting alien that dresses like a clown. And he dresses like a clown to fool the kids into thinking he's a clown, doesn't he? Right. So I'm beginning to say, what are some of these movies telling us that, look at that, for grotesque and vile? That's a beast. That's not just an alien. That's not just a little grey fella or whatever. That's not just a clown. That's an ugly creature, man. Look at its face, man. Oh, man. What the... That's we'll just check it out, man. That's not. I'm telling you now, man. That's not a clown, man. That's not a clown. That's an alien, man. That's a demon, man. That's a shape-shifting demon, no doubt about it. You're looking at a shape-shifting alien demon there, man. No doubt about it. And I'm beginning to get a bit worried about what's under the ground in my town. No doubt about it. I've got to do something about it. No doubt about it. Look at the face on that. That's one ugly motherfucker. And he looked like that, right? No doubt about it. You see the shape-shifting alien clown, where he come from? No doubt about it. I'm just doing an impersonation of some dude I've heard on YouTube, and he's a funny guy, like, you know what I mean? But there you go. I just want to join the dots, because I want to take it further, right, guys? I want to take it further to the next level and tell you a little bit more. Look, here we go. Here's another one. Pennywise, his name is. His name's Pennywise, right? Oh, my word. What is going on? Look, you just think he's an innocent little clown, man. You know what I mean? So you don't think he's a demon. We're only just discovering now that the alien greys are demons, right? Here's another big discovery. We're only just discovering, right, that narcissists, people we call narcissists, they're demonically possessed. They're possessed by a demonic spirit that makes them arrogant and not listen to anyone and think that they're the best at everything, you know what I mean? And, you know, what's this? This is a deception, isn't it? It's a complete deception. Never trust a clown, mate. Never. And never take your kids to see a clown. You need your heads reading, you know what I mean? So I'm going to conclude it there, and I want to take it to the next level in my next video. Man, you know, I know this is a dude, obviously in makeup and all that, right? Well, why did he make his head look big? Why did the directors make his head look like a big balloon? If he's, you know, but that's what the message I got. Can you believe I've never even seen this film? You know what I mean? So it's a shape-shifting alien that dresses like a clown, that comes from the paving underneath the ground in America. What's it telling us, mate? It's telling us something, isn't it? It's saying, like, you know, what's coming for... Yeah, there's the picture there of it. Look, there you go. Look, right? Now, you see that? You see that image of, like, its face coming up to check out who's walking past or who's there, you know what I mean? If you imagine that's the edges of that Douglas Street, the little you know, what I call the curbs, the edges. And as I'm walking past, faces emerge to watch who's coming past. Not like in an opening like this, the way it's an open space. I mean through, like, solid stone, you know what I mean? It was like solid stone. And I seen, but the faces I did see look like proper greys with the big eyes and everything, like, guys, okay? That's, you know, it's another speech, isn't it? It's another talk, another discussion. So I'm getting off now anyway, and I'll leave you with that at the moment. I want you to know that this is real. This thing is real. This thing can cause absolute havoc in anyone's house. Do you understand why you've got to have a Bible? Or even if you don't want to read the Bible, guys, you know what I mean? Get a King... I hate saying King James because I think he gets too much credit. KJV, right? Get yourselves a KJV Bible in your houses, put it under your bed or under your pillow or whatever. You don't have to study it if you think it's too much. You don't, but, you know, rather you've got that Bible kind of, and you've got a bit of faith and you're a good person. Because it's the only defence mechanism we've got against these things. Because I'm being harassed lately, guys. I feel like I'm being kept awake at night, sleep deprivation, all kinds of stuff lately, right? And it's since I've been putting these videos up about the paving stones and stuff, you know, guys. Something doesn't like me talking about this stuff, right? So anyway, I'll leave you with that. Look at his pointy chin and everything, isn't he? Oh, he's a bloody ugly. But, you know, credit to Crowley at least, man. Right? If there's anything good that can possibly be said about Aleister Crowley is like when he got older, he was ditching all that stuff. You know, when he became an old man, he started realising it was all bad. Do you understand? But in our world, you get heavy metal fans who think, oh, I've just been reading about Aleister Crowley, and then they're just starting to do things that Aleister Crowley himself even ditched as he got older, as far as I know. Right? Well, this little bastard, whatever it is obviously going around causing havoc amongst everyone, isn't it? You know what I mean? And it's disguising itself as imps or pixies or whatever. And there might be more of them. You know, there's not just one. There might be a whole race of them, mightn't there? You know what I mean? And there we go. Look, so the comparison. You know what I mean? What more can a man say, mate? You know, I've had enough of all this stuff. You know what I mean? I want to see good things. Oh man, what are we gonna do? Oh, before we go, I will show an interesting video. Right now, you know, aliens, unwelcome visitors, someone's household, right? Something you don't want around, right? Something you don't want around. And what it does, it turns your house upside down, doesn't it, right? This little fella comes into your house, he starts turning upside down, he wants to rule the house, right? That's the only way I can describe what I'm talking about, right? So, before we go, I want to show you this. I don't know if anyone's aware of this. If you've ever seen this footage, right? I'm just reading these comments. Oh, that could be so good. But I've not touched hard liquor in so many years. I'll just... Okay, right, now, let's go. Now, watch this, guys. I don't know where to leave the sound on. Right, now look at this. Common cuckoo chick ejects eggs of a reed warbler out of the nest. David Attenborough's opinion. right? Now, David Attenborough must be talking on this, okay? Now, I hope I don't get a copyright strike. I hope Arthur Homan, if he does watch this, I'm not like ripping him off. I'm not monetized. I'm not taking any, you know, this is like fair use. It's like a very interesting clip, right? I remember me talking about eggs and chickens' eggs and eagles' eggs and eggs that are being stolen from nests, and then creatures are reared in captivity and things like that. Yeah, right. You just think cuckoos, you know what they're famous for? Switzerland, cuckoo clocks, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. No one thinks about how evil these little bastards are, right? What they do is, the cuckoo lays his egg in another bird's nest. He don't give a shit what species of bird they are, right? Aliens, right? An alien. And an alien egg hatches, and it emerges a cuckoo, and just watch what the little bastards do, mate. Just watch and learn. It's directed by Arthur Homan, so it is copyrighted.
Just next door,
This
in
is
an even smaller nest,
fair.
the female reed warbler incubates its 4 eggs.
Watch and learn, guys.
One of the brood is starting to hatch. However, it is not the young reed warbler. 2 weeks ago, a female cuckoo, unseen by the reed warbler, dropped her egg into this nest. Now the young cuckoo hatches. As the first of the
there's
brood,
music.
the reed warbler did not notice the trick.
Look, it didn't
Now
notice.
feeds the young as if it were its own.
It doesn't even know.
The young cuckoo needs to throw the
Now
other
watch what
eggs
the
out
little
of the nest.
bastard's doing.
If it doesn't do this, then the parents will not be able to feed all the nestlings.
Look, it knows what it's doing. What an ugly little bastard.
First attempts are not successful. The cuckoo is still too weak.
Look, it's too weak. Look, it's being fed by the
Tries
warbler.
again.
Where's its mum and dad?
It must push the
Where's
eggs
his
above
real-
the edge of the nest.
Where's his real parents?
It
That's
is
what
big
I want to
effort.
know. Look at it. It's like Samson. Look. Oh no, this music might copyright me, Lee. Alright, what I'll do is I'll turn the sound off.
The determination of the weak cuckoo nestling to get rid of the competition is amazing to see.
Right, I'll turn the sound off so that I don't get a copyright strike, right? Now watch how horrible. Watch out. Look at it, it's like a little alien, isn't it? That's not a bird. That's an alien. And look at its arsehole. Look, still hasn't got a clue. It hasn't got a clue there's a bastard in its own nest, mate. Watch what it does. Watch what the little bastard does, man. Oh, there goes one. Murder. It's actually murdering the other birds, making sure they're all gone. Is that ugly or what? E.T. phone home. And there you go, the last one, right? Let's put the sound on again so we'll see if we can hear.
Alone at last. The ever-open, bright red beak and the constant peeping from the cuckoo prompts the reed warblers to bring it food without a break.
They
Now
don't
all
even
the
know.
Insects and spiders
They
end
still
up in its
don't
beak.
know it's a fucking alien.
With such intensive feeding, the young cuckoo reaches its adult size in just 2 weeks. It is so large that when it sits on the nest, it must hold tight so it doesn't fall off. In a strong wind, the nest may even break apart under its weight.
The copyright. Why'd you have to put music? There you
Although
go.
the cuckoo is by now much bigger than the reed warblers,
That's an
they still
unclean
treat
bird, isn't it,
as if
guys?
it's one of their own
You know the
nestlings.
Bible says unclean bird.
Even after it has left the nest, they will still feed it.
They still feed
At
it.
the end of August,
They still
the young
feed the
cuckoo
little-
will start its lonely journey to
I want to
Africa.
go out killing
It will
cuckoos
return
now.
next spring, maybe even to the same reed bed, and try to toss an egg into a reed warbler's nest.
So I'll leave that with you, right, folks, anyway, and I'll sign off. And yeah, I think that says it all, doesn't it? That says it all, mate. Right, you know, aliens. They take over the house. They can pretend they're your children. Oh no, please. No. Alright. Wow, I can't believe I've actually done nearly 2 hours. Alright, I'm getting off. There's 2 viewers or 1 viewer at the moment. Whoever is watching, thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting. And I will be on very soon with some more interesting stuff. I'll be making some videos in my local area and things, guys. I'm going to make some films and stuff and share it, right? Lately, like I say, I feel like I've been having sleep deprivation and all kinds of stuff, right, guys? And it's since I've been putting these videos up, you know. I keep my mouth shut. I can go to sleep at night, right? As soon as I start talking about this stuff, something starts invading my space, as if to say, you better keep your mouth shut. Alright. Signing off and going to bed. Thanks for watching, and please press the like button, comments, whatever you got to say, anyone shared opinions, and please don't copyright the video, anyone who's watching. It is fair use, it's just sharing the information about the cuckoo. I'm not monetized, I don't take any money for any of my videos, so I hope you bear that in mind. If it gets copyrighted but it doesn't get blocked, I don't mind that, so, you know. Alright, I'm going. I will see you later, and hope you've enjoyed the ride, the roller coaster ride. Signing out. Thanks for watching. See you later.